What's going on, chat? Sorry, we were having a little bit of a problem here. I had to reinstall OBS earlier this week, and we had to fix the Twitch stream side of things. So just give us a minute here, and we'll be ready to go and talk some more Raid Shadow Legends this week. Hey, let's go. Big shout out to Mr. JR Star 3 here for the raid. As soon as he's ready to go, guys, we'll put him in. We'll put him in the right slot, and then we'll get ready for this show. While we wait, though, let me know. Are you guys ready for this Alice in Wonderland adventure? Have you pulled the 10x Unity champion for this week? What do you guys think about him?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast, and thank you all for joining us again. It has been a fun time this week. We've had a lot of things to talk about. We got a new patch, and it turns out that Plarium can't actually release things without having some sort of bugs, right? So we're going to be discussing that today. We've got I've got a couple of things that have been bugging me because of the way that the new relics are working or being introduced. So I want to discuss that. And I guess let's just jump right into things, right? Before we go too far, though, let's get a hello from Mr. Streamer of the Year up there, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, what's going on?
That was last year.
I'm optimistic that you'll be Streamer of the Year again this year.
Until a new champion is named, it's Kenpachi.
Doing good. Little bit got a tough yesterday because little bit got surgery on my mount. They took a meat inside of it, cut it and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, let's not mention that. Some EU stuff, you know.
Okay.
But beside that, open I think 7 secret shard for the Unity champion. Unfortunately, didn't get a Lego.
Oof.
Don't want to open more actually because I want to save my shard for the something probably coming soon as a guarantee. I believe is the kit is going to be guarantee, guys. Copium about that.
Ooh,
But I cannot be know like which. No leak. It's not
no leak, like,
no leak, guys. Don't report me, please. I think it's pretty cool, K-Star Kit. I really like his design as well. And yeah, man, rolling on. What you guys doing? How you guys doing?
All right. I am Roadblock. Yeah, apparently I wore the wrong hat. I forgot that it's the yellow one and not the green one and not the red one. So I'll change it here in a minute. But let's move on to Mr. Gestal. How's Top Live Arena treating you this week, man? How's everything going?
Going well. Lost my voice, so if you can deal with it, hopefully it won't bother everyone out there. Going well though. Live Arena's going fine. I haven't been playing so much. We had family in town for like 3 weeks, so a lot of traveling. We were in Palm Springs and Vegas. Did Disney, did Universal, so we've kind of been all over the map, and my live arena playing has gone down a bit, but I'm back at it all week and hoping to climb back up in the 80s. I think I'm 91 or something right now. I don't like that. I need a little more padding. I want to drop out of the top 100, man.
Okay. All right, next up we got the 5-headed thinker right here, Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Just been enjoying my 2-week vacation. Basically, I look at it as a way not to skipping this fragment fusion summon.
I was gonna say, I thought you said 2 weeks vacation. I was like, wait, you didn't tell me you were off of work for the next 2 weeks.
The raid work.
Just not having to do this is for me personally is going to be a good time just to help the community and basically just enjoying until the next thing comes.
Not to cut you guys off, it looks like Jay's glitching on the stream.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
So, I don't know if you want to take a look at your internet or something, Jay, but I think there's something going on. You're just really lagging, brother. All right. That's better. All right. Next up, late night streamer, Mr. MXPJE. How are you doing?
Doing good. Wow, I did not notice your the hat, and then I looked over, and oh my god, that was so funny. Oh, that was a good laugh. I'm doing great.
I got 2 for Christmas.
Well, yeah.
I got the Grinch one on this one, and I got Max on this one, but you can't see it.
It's so funny. But I'm doing well. UFC was back last night, first of the new year, so that was good. We got some football, some NFL, watching some of that. Yeah, doing well. Pulled 8 sacreds. I got 2 Legos, so pretty good rates. I got a dupe Freya. My faction guardians is full, so I might
It's pretty good.
empower her. I don't know what else. I don't think I would build 2. And then I got a second Krokmar, which I need for faction guardians, so not the worst. I'll take them.
Okay.
Pretty good rates.
Okay. Last but not least, we've got the up and coming Mr. YouTuber right there, all the way from Texas, dabbing himself to the end of the universe, Mr. Zero Brew.
With my kitty cat trying to get a taco in space. Yeah. What's going on? Glad to be back as always. Love this podcast, and we're just keeping it growing. Yeah, YouTube is so far, it's been a good week. So that's what I'll say. And new camera, so hopefully I'm not as transparent on these broadcasts go forward, but I have some settings I still have to mess with because I have to swap my camera from one computer to the other. And I realized, the settings aren't going to transfer over. So that was a little annoying. So Blazing, good job getting me in on here. But yeah, it's been a great week. I pulled on my account, I think like 13 sacres and didn't get a single legendary, which kind of sucked. Pulling some other people's accounts and got them some legendaries, which was great. And also, I think I'm the only one doing the Hell Hades free-to-play challenge. Woo! That is quite the grind.
Yeah.
Quite the grind. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I've been on the leaderboards. Out of the 60 people, my name is in the top 10 in a lot of the categories. So that means I'm losing sleep. That's what it means.
So a whale actually knows how to play free to play?
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Went with because we have Tagore and Ugo, and for whatever reason, I just felt Tagore was going to be the better one to invest into. And turns out I was right. I was looking at the chat earlier, and people were like, "Yeah, I'm using Tagore way more than Ugo," which is what we got with our promo code to start with. We got Ugo at level 1 and Tagore at level 25. And so far, I'm outpacing. I went with Monkey King as my promo code as well. So far, I'm outpacing everybody in Clan Boss right now. So we'll see. I got a feeling that it's more of a sprint. And over the long run, what I'm doing now in the early game is going to drop off compared to the people that have a better support chance. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. It's a 3 months competition, and I'm sure if I just get beaten to the dirt, I'll just quit. But we'll see. Right now, I'm all in. I'm all in like Flynn, and it's sleep deprivation. Yeah.
All right.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's the first actual week of the year where Christmas is over, so work has died down. I'm able to get home at a semi-reasonable time. We actually just got a snowstorm yesterday. Granted, it was only like 3-4 inches, so that was fun.
Snowstorm.
Yeah. I know. You're like, wait, what's that? It's not as bad as Kansas, right? Kansas got like, what is it, 8 or 9 inches? And like
we got 7
inches.
in North Dallas. Oof. Yeah, we had a lot. But it hit 58 yesterday, and right now it's 46, so it just melted.
Yeah,
but it was
so
2 days and a lot of snow. Yeah.
So it was good. It was good. Shard pulls went horrible on the main account. Great on the alt accounts, or at least the ones that did pull. That said, I think we're gonna start referring to you as the dab master who dabs himself all the way into the oblivion, and you could thank OG Nobo for that. I think that's gonna be your intro from now on.
All right, I like it.
So, chat, let's talk a little bit about this Alice in Wonderland adventure that we're going to be going on for the next couple of weeks. So, first things first, I want to discuss the Queen's Fury tournament tomorrow that we're going to be having. Right, we're gonna be able to have some reason to farm pinpoint outside of an event. Now, the one thing that really is pissing me off is that we have no boosted chances at getting pinpoint here, right? So we're gonna spend, in the midst of a fusion, we're going to be spending all this energy to try to get, and I feel like it's worded differently depending on where you look at it. But if you see here, it says, as part of the Alice adventure in Raid, we got a special dungeon tournament where you can earn a new relic, the Mad Hatter's Reserve, right? But when you go inside the game, it says you'll have a chance to win. So this is basically telling me that it's going to be the 1% or the top person that gets it. But in the in-game calendar, it's telling me, or at least the way I'm reading it, and maybe you guys can, set me straight, but the way I'm reading it is that everybody's going to have a chance here to get it because it says earn a new relic. So I guess first of all, let me get your reaction onto, will you be farming or doing anything with the event dungeon outside of during this event? Ken?
I am. My spider tournament almost over. I'm going for the fusion, by the way, and tomorrow there's going to be dungeon diver going to start right at the same time. So I will farm it a bit. CVC is the one day later. If you guys have a limited energy, if you guys want to push on the CVC, just let you guys know. And I'm not going for the number one if it is what you're asking. I'm just gonna get the free stuff there. That's all. But I like to ask you guys a question, simple question. When this Alice stuff started? January 8th, right?
They said that we were going to get 2 different relics.
Yeah.
We got the new event dungeon.
Yep.
And we are getting new tournament for that. While the Phantom Shogun is the new dungeon, we still don't have a tournament, right? Where is Phantom Shogun tournament, dude? Step dungeon, I'm telling you, man. It's a step dungeon.
Also, aren't we supposed to get 2 free relics for the Chimera issues?
Yeah, I didn't get any.
Gemstones, 2 gemstones.
Yeah,
2 gemstones,
those
yeah.
yet?
No. Sometime soon, Plarium soon, because they haven't figured out which ones are the most worthless ones to give us.
Gotcha,
That's the thing, right? But okay, so Ken, you're gonna get the free rewards for doing the milestones and get out. You're not gonna try to go for first.
No.
Gestal, what about you? Because you're arena based, and these two seem pretty broken for arena, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I whiffed. I went for the extra relics on the champ chase tournament, and I whiffed on that. I got an epic, not even a good epic relic. So I don't know if I'll go for it. I guess it all depends what the tournament or what it's for pinpoint. Yeah, I mean I'm farming pinpoint pretty much anytime I can. So I don't know if I'll go for it, but. I mean, if it's super OP, maybe I will. Maybe I'll try to go for it.
And just to kind of go through and just, I guess we can, excuse me, show people a few of the relics, right? If I can figure out how to get there and see which ones they are.
Can I jump really quickly?
Yeah, go right ahead while I try to find this.
People. So let's say you got
all the relics.
Yeah,
there.
Oh, yeah, over there. So let's say, guys, you guys go for the relics on the champion chest, like the Gestal just mentioned, stuff like that. You got your crafting material. It is not 100%.
Right.
Like you have like 39.5% chance to craft legendary one if you got the legendary one from the champion chest.
So it's
and the rest of the percent going to the epic. And if you hit the legendary, there is going to be 50% chance just normal legendary relics, or the 50% chance exclusive event relics.
Yep.
You guys need to know that.
That is one of the other things that I was gonna talk about, because it's definitely I crafted, right, and I managed to get this one on one of my accounts, and it just like it's great, but I won't be able to use it on that account. But it really just sucks. Like, okay, we're going all in, we want to try to get these, but it's just so much RNG on if we're gonna get them or not. I'm happy that they didn't release a rare version, and that's not into this. But the crafting materials, I mean, we could see here, they are literally locked. I don't even think, yeah, they're literally locked for the top 3, right? I think the only one that had anything else was the summoning event, right? And even with that, again, to your point, it was basically a 50-50 chance on what you're gonna get, right? So I'm still, I feel like it's still it's going to be a problem if we can at least acquire some of these, because again, we don't know when this event or this dungeon is going to come back. Is it going to be every single time an event dungeon comes back, we'll have the chances to get this relic? Or, you know, I really hate to say it, but I feel like they might start throwing out Forge Pass relics. And that's going to suck. Jay, what about you? Will you be going for this event? And how invested are you going to get?
Honestly, I've just been enjoying, like, you know, just not going too serious, not spending, just playing the game. So I'm going to just do it and then prep for CVC, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Can you go back to the calendar?
Sure. Give me 1 second.
And then click on the event.
Yep.
So it says what? So that is the Cat's Crate or the Cat's Gaze,
Queen's
right?
Fury
The one-
tournament. Yeah, this is the
Right.
epic version. Oh no, this is the Hatter's Reserve.
That's the Lego.
This is the Hatter's Reserve, which is the. Why do I keep doing that? Sorry. Collection. Why am I not
Index.
getting index? Sorry.
Relic Index.
So the
Doesn't
Hatter's
look
Reserve.
like it.
Yeah, the Hatter's
That's-
Reserve is the epic one.
Oh, look at the picture.
That
Yeah,
is
it's the
true.
hammer.
You're
so
right.
maybe the hammer will be if the win, and then the relic will be in like the right side.
That's probably what it is.
Okay.
But it
Alright.
says Hatter's Reserve, but it's the picture of the thing. I don't know.
Usually though, these are the ones that we can earn as
Number one.
Is it as number one? Because I don't think the gold
Yeah,
chest
this
is
is
at number
number
one.
one.
I think these are usually the
No,
ones
no,
that
no,
are
the
on
first
side.
one. The hammer. Hammer is
The-
the number one.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me take a quick. I guess let me take a quick peek here at some
So
of the
I don't
other
know if
events.
that's just like a mistake on their end, putting the wrong picture, or. But I'm gonna see how many points it is. I haven't gotten the Champion Chase Gold Relic yet, but I want to. So depending on how that crafts, I think the relics are really good, and it's depending on how hard it is to get the materials. I think getting as many materials as you can if you're a late endgame player could be huge. I mean, it's really hard to get enough crafting materials from Chimera right now to craft. It takes a decent amount of time depending on what Chimera you're hitting. So if you can get them from the tournaments and events, I think it's pretty solid.
Right. Okay. Zero. What about you?
Yeah, I'm still the way they're doing everything with the relics. I just feel like, I mean, I already have ADHD, and I feel like someone with ADHD designed all this. It just feels so weird and odd on this. It's not as streamlined as, oh, here's your piece of gear, or you know, like when you go into the forge, like, okay, you got your resources from Doom Tower, you're gonna craft it, you're gonna get this. It's like RNG Jesus on top of, you know, a very limited resource, and then like, I don't know, I haven't taken the time to really wrap my brain around it, and honestly, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and just keep collecting, because I feel like we don't know what we don't know yet. Like, I think Saf last week released like the odds, and it's like, oh, you would think if you did, you know, all 4 epic ones, you would get a better chance of getting a legendary. However, if you do like, you know, 2 epics, 1 legendary and 1 rare, you actually have a higher, like all that kind of weird stuff on the back end. So I just think we just need a little bit more time to kind of figure this out. And honestly, Plarium's really bad about communicating this stuff with us. It's just like, oh, here's this thing, and here it is, and now figure it out. And by the way, we're gonna sprinkle in this little, you know, new event, and then like you're not gonna really get the thing you really want. It's, you know, typical gotcha mechanics, obviously, but I just wish they communicated them better. That's just, I don't know. That's where I'm at with relics, all inclusively.
You know, that is an idea to think about on, you know, maybe should we hold the relics and see what comes down the line when it's maybe fully implemented. But then I guess the bigger question on that would be is how far behind will that set us? Let me get your input on the, you know, on what the biggest pisser for me is that they're not running an improved chance to farm the dungeon to get pinpoint, right? Pinpoint's already going to be a pain in the ass to get. They've thrown in all these other useless sets with the dungeon, right? And it is only open for 7 weeks, 8 weeks in total. But we're going to get all these other crappy sets. And I feel like we need those extra boosted chances. They're not going to run them every single week. I think with the last dungeon we had 2 or 3. And I don't see them, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think the last time we saw a 3x pinpoint, I think it was just a 2x pinpoint. So what are your feelings or thoughts on the not getting the boosted chance while the event dungeon is going on for the tournament? Ken?
I mean, my complaint is not about that. My complaint is like they just released the Chimera, and after that event dungeon, but that's the different event dungeon. So we need to build another team there, like most of the team depends your previous team, of course. Not going to work there. You need to spend your energy, which is you need to start from stage 1 again. Why? We already completed on Odin. Why we are wasting too much energy there, man? Like there is too much energy to reach the stage 30. It's so stupid, to be honest. There's a 30 stage?
I don't know
like,
about
why
you,
there's a
but the team for me didn't really change. It's my same team from Odin. It's my same team from Odin. It really did not change, which was, I have a video coming out kind of talking about this team, and that was one of my main gripes, where I'm just like, I was kind of hoping for something different, like, but it's still the same team.
I hope Foro is not watching right
problems.
Yeah. It's event dungeon is super hard to deal without G-Nut, guys. It's the reality. About the pinpoint, to be honest, man, like, I don't spend thousands of the energy. Doesn't matter there's a 2x or 3x. It doesn't mean anything to me. I just use my daily energy, like usually like 1000 energy, stuff like that. That's all. And I'm getting whatever I can. Of course, 2x, 3x can a little bit increase your chance. But to be honest, man, like, I play in this game almost 5 years now. Like, you can get pinpoint. It's increasing your chance to get pinpoint. It's not what kind of pinpoint you are getting. You are end of the day you are going to get
shard too.
End of the day you are going to get 5-star rare, like the current helmet. 5-star rare pinpoint set. Do you want that? I don't want that.
True.
Yeah.
Gestal, what about you? I mean, you're more arena focused. And
I'm also arena focused, man. Like,
yes.
Dude,
well, you're the specializing in the free to play arena focus.
Free to play arena top 300, dude. Come on. That's hard.
I'm not giving him enough credit, guys. I'm not giving him enough credit. But let's talk a little bit about on that end where speed is the #1 thing up there. What are we kind of seeing against some of these whales that are going to be farming this stuff?
Yeah, I would imagine all the whales are farming it up. Probably 24/7. I'd imagine pinpoint's super strong, and if you can get a quad roll or penta roll on them on a speed piece, like that's what you need to compete up there sometimes. But it's not always about the speed. They're great go second teams. I still like to run go second when I can. But the pinpoint is super strong, like all around for lots of different champs. It opens up debuffers. So it like I haven't bought energy and I can't tell you how long, years probably. So I'll use whatever energy I get. Any extra energy is always put into the event dungeon. Kind of what Kenpachi was saying. But like I'm gonna do fusion first, and whatever's left over, go for it. That may change if that relic is for first, then there's an opportunity there, but I'm not going to go like crazy on it to try and beat another whale or a kraken or something.
Okay. Jay, what about you? What do you think on the topic of not being able to farm boosted chances of pinpoint during this event dungeon?
I mean,
during the tournament, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get. It's a normal, player move. I don't really feel too upset, and I'm kind of trying to take it chill. So it's like, okay, it does suck when you don't get to dip, right? Double dip, but it's just a normal move. You just go, okay, and just keep going. But I will say this: there's other players out there who've already hit me up, and already put 100,000 energy within the first week. So we're still got 7 more weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? You know, a lot of people were asking me, well, what should I do? Should I farm speed? Should I farm pinpoint? I'm like, I would farm whatever speed you can with what you currently have, but I would save energy for pinpoint, because pinpoint's going to give you, you know, I feel like the best part for pinpoint is the accessories, because if you just put a ring and a banner on, that's, you know, 10 extra speed right there, which can be very crucial on some of those builds.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I feel
Explain.
like we are getting more accessories on the event dungeon than the normal gear, because like I'm looking my accessories, almost all of my faction is full accessories, you know, on the pinpoint. But I'm looking my pinpoint set, like there's like barely 50 item.
Right. What I'm saying though is when it comes to farming, you know, like 3x speed or 3x pinpoint, I would put more emphasis on the 3x pinpoint. That's kind of what I was trying to push towards. PJ, what do you think, man? Is it, I guess, what do you have to say about it? You know, are you okay with doing the event dungeon, putting the resources in, and not having the boosted chances to get pinpoint gear?
Yeah, I'm upset Ken just stole my point after already going and he sneaks in there. But I was gonna say, yeah, I think one of the bigger issues, obviously I wish they would do a 2x with the pinpoint with the event dungeon. I think one of the bigger issues is the accessory to the actual pinpoint gear ratio is like really off, because the accessory is always going to be pinpoint, which we do need a big spread of accessories because we have to fill out all the different factions. But if you do get a gear like hit, the chance of it being pinpoint is then 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6, so it's 1 in 6 of that being in the actual pinpoint. So I think it would have been nice if I'm not sure if this is doable, I'm not a coder, but they could have done like an increased chance of pinpoint gear, something like that, like a 2x pinpoint gear,
right.
Instead could have been nice to help with getting like more of that.
Okay, so you're in favor that they should have ran the extra boosted chances for the 2x or 3x pinpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I think
more specific to gear wise than accessories.
Yeah.
Okay, which I agree. I feel like you definitely have a very solid point there, where it just feels like there's more accessories coming in than gear itself, right? Because there's for every one of these other sets, it's only a 1 in 6 to either get a helm, shield, weapon, chest, or boots, or gloves. But for pinpoint, it's 9 pieces. So I agree with that. I think there should have been another tier down here where it's just for accessories. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Being involved in the free to play really threw a dampening on this, but right out the rip, I guess my champs weren't geared. And then what I found was interesting. There was multiple ways to skin the cat, if you will, on this specific dungeon, which I thought was cool. You know, people were obviously doing like the G nut thing. People were doing the control thing. People were doing the burn activator things. And for whatever reason, mine weren't working. I'm sure it's gear. So the one I'm going to attempt to do is reskin the Yakarl. And I haven't seen anybody do this combo yet. And if it works, expect a YouTube video out of it, damn it.
I'm already ahead of you on that.
Which one?
The Yakarl.
Yeah, but the Yakarl, but I haven't finished. I have Gizmak and Sulfurion, and then I'm actually going to do the Machine Gun Torment. So I'll have the Yakarl freeze, and then have the 2 burn activators come in and burn activate, and Torment will machine gun the whole team down. So that's the team I'm going to attempt to do, but I was waiting for the artifact event, which is now live today. So I'll probably do it tonight on the stream, and we'll see. I've run it on like 27 and 28, and it seems to be working without Yakarl being speed tuned at all. He's got to be over the 300 and 305, which, by the way, kudos to all y'all that put all those videos out ahead of time. Those are great. So I'm slacking, to be honest with you, on it so far. And in terms of the rewards, yeah, I mean, at least we're getting the accessories. I think, you know, if you're thinking about the mathematical problem, yeah, they sprinkled in all the other crappier pieces in there. I will say, because this is now the second round of getting the pinpoint, pinpoint and Furl kind of came in at the same time, but both of those really changed the meta, and everything is now control and debuffs. speed and go first in the arena, and Pinpoint just explodes that, right? Because if you can stop yourself from being sheeped right out the rip, it gets crazy, right? So I think mathematically they have to do it this way, right? You have to give a ton of accessories, and because the accessories are spread across the factions, I really wish they would revamp that. They're not going to, but I really wish you could just use all accessories on all champions, and that would completely change the game. But they'll never do that, so it gets difficult. And then when you do get the Pinpoint stuff, and people have been telling me to keep the 5-star. So if anybody's watching, I don't know what y'all thoughts on this, or I'll throw this question back to the panel here. Keep your 5-star stuff. I just didn't do it. I was like, I don't have room for anything that's blue or anything that's a 5-star, and I don't care if I don't get the set. I just don't have the room to keep all the crap. And which is another thing I wish Plarium would fix and address is, they gave us a little bit more room, but now that we have these other 9-piece accessories, it's almost like sell all the other crap that's not a 9-piece set and go with that. And it gets really hard when it's like, oh, I really need a curse set or a stun set right here, would help me tremendously. And it's like, well, I don't have room to keep it all. It just don't.
Right. So this is kind of the team you're going to be looking at, or that I'm going to be showcasing, which is your Carl. You got HP burn, HP burn activation, and then you have poisons, right? So this is kind of what you're looking for on that team, but you need your Carl to go first to freeze everybody else.
Yep. Yeah. And so I'm actually just ignoring the poisons themselves and just doing the burns, and hopefully with the freeze and the burns trigger the torment just to smack everyone 100 times. Right. So I like it. I like seeing that team.
Just don't steal my comp before my video comes out.
I'm not. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm focused on the other one. One of y'all did your Carl.
It wasn't me that did your Carl, but
because it's not resistible, right? That's the deal with the Carl.
Right. 75% more turn meter.
Yeah. So it's definitely. I haven't recorded, but I just haven't edited them out yet. I've got them, but we'll maybe do that today. I don't know. I'm supposed to go get my new phone, so maybe we'll see what's more important.
I think Beck and Chad did a YouTube video with the Yakara on it.
Okay. I'm actually, funny thing,
I also have a video with the Yakara.
Yeah, you've just been pumping everything out, Ken. I've been watching. I'm like, damn, he's going full throttle on this. As to the point with the blues, keeping like a 5-star blue or 5-star epic. The problem I see with that is, the event dungeon is only, how long ago was it that we got? It's got to be at least 3 months since we had the last dungeon, right? The last event dungeon. So selling those and being strict about it for earlier to mid-game accounts is a little bit of a problem. And game accounts, I mean, if you're wailing out and spending thousands and thousands upon energy, you got to do it because you can't have it, right? What you're going to end up with is a situation that I have where we're sitting close to 1,300 pieces, and it's like, what am I going to do? Like, I've got so many things here. Like, essentially, I'm starting to build champions outside of gear sets, worrying more about stats to do anything with it. But at the same time, am I even going to use those champions, right? Let's talk a little bit about the event dungeon itself, right? Now, the last one we had was Odin, and I really feel like I wish they would have just done some sort of a different skin to it, right? It's literally the same exact thing, just different champions. Are you guys okay with this? Were you hoping that it would be a different event, different thing, like the Queen of Hearts? Like, how cool it would have been to just have a different kind of skin in the back for it? I don't think it would have been that different, especially since they waited 3 months to bring this out. Ken?
Actually different. Try without a 3G not like you are.
No. I'm not talking about the team itself. I'm talking about the visuals back here, right? Because what we have is the same thing as the last one.
Well, it's the first time I'm looking the visual, actually, the background. I mean, I literally the first time seeing that. I don't know. I never take attention to that. That's actually beautiful. I like it.
But
it's the same. It was the same as when it was for Odin, though.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I said this last week. It would be really cool if they just reskinned the people to the little soldiers to fit the motif with her, right?
Yeah.
And they could have done the castle with the playing cards and all that, and they baked the playing cards in with Alice. She's got it all over her, and stuff. So I wish they had just reskinned it. Yeah, that'd been cool. But I'm not gonna dock them on that. Like, they're giving us an extra event. These seem to be getting more frequent, right? Like, I feel like it was what was the first one? It was the
Odin.
the blade. What was the game? Monster Hunter one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Monster Hunter one, and then they went with the mythological thing to compete with Godforge. Wait, what? I didn't say that out loud.
We're going to touch on that in a minute here, but
Yeah.
I think the reason they're doing that is because they don't want to have the same issue or the same lashback that they did
Free IP.
with the IP from Monster Hunter. Exactly, it's a free
Yeah,
IP,
it's free IP.
and they can
Right.
keep the champions in the game after that.
Yeah, and then that's beautiful. And I think, but yeah, so I think that was the first, and they learned what they learned, and then boom, they gave us Odin, and now Alice. Yeah, I think I like it. I can't complain. Like, it's more content. It's a way to farm really good gear. So could they have reskinned it? Yeah, and fit the motif. That'd have been cool. Maybe they'll do that in the future. Maybe they'll learn from this third round of doing this situation. Well, this is the third round of doing the champs with a theme. This is the second round of doing a dungeon event. So maybe reskinning it would be in the next iteration. So
Right. And I mean, I guess they didn't change a lot of things in the other dungeons. They just changed the colors for, Fire Knight when they moved everything to hard mode and dragon and stuff. But I feel like, they're going to go through, they're going to go and put this much effort in it. I feel like, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, guys. Like, come on. Why not? Maybe I'm wrong, chat. Would you guys have preferred to see just the different visuals in the back? Just something different. I don't know. Like the whole Alice in Wonderland thing. Like, I felt like this was just another huge miss. Granted, the visuals are great, but this was Odin. This was, Fae Father. And this is what I will always see it as. I don't see it as, Queen of Hearts. I see it as just Odin, like Odin Dungeon. Ken, sorry.
would have been really cool is if they did the Mad Hatter table with the Mad Hatter in the background doing some stuff and all the little people eating and drinking. I mean, that'd have been cool too, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that will be cool, but I feel like game has a bigger problem than that, man.
Yes, we know that it's and we'll touch on that in just a minute here. We know it's bug fix Raid Shadow Legends, but I think, this, if we're not going to get all the bugs fixed, we could at least enjoy the visuals of something different. Now, I know a lot of us are just going to set it, walk away, come back, sift through the gear, see what we want to keep. But I just feel like, streaming wise, like looking at it, I would enjoy it a lot more if it was just something a little more different, right? There's what is it? Watcher of Realms. When they put out these kind of things, it's a new dungeon, it's a new visual every single time. And it's not like Raid doesn't have the money to do it, right? I can't imagine that it's going to be that difficult for them to do it. Gestal, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it would be nice. I think something as simple as reskinning the floor to like the black and white checkered would have definitely just changed enough. All that being said, I would rather have them keep me on whatever dungeon hard mode 10 instead of making me flip between normal and hard mode all the time. Fix that stupid thing first instead of whatever they could do here. That's what I'm saying, man. Fix those stupid little things. So annoying.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And the bigger problem for a lot of people was that Serpent's Will is back this week on all four heads, right? So it's again. Jay, what about you, man? What do you think? Should they have reskinned it, or are you cool with what this is left?
Yeah, I would have, man. Like two of them would have been amazing for me. Number one would have been cool if they changed the battle to more of like a stage, so people and there's like an audience looking at this battle, so they're like, oh, it's just a stage performance, but in actuality we're fighting to the death. And then a second one would have been cool. It would have been like a carnival, right? And like, because Kaz and Timid, right? They're getting
Right.
showcased here. They never really get showcased in Raid, really, unless it's like someone, biohack. But yeah, I think that would have been cool, like a carousel. We're trying to like add some more interactions. Like, yes, it's turn based, but more stuff to the world. Like every boss in Raid is all just fight boss, hit champions, go. But like add more dynamics. And I understand that's hard for full auto, right? But you can always add that into the preset. So if there was something else like where you're not just fighting the champions, but you're also fighting the stage or level, that would change Raid completely. Because now you're not just fighting champion on champion. Now you also have to think about the stage. So that could be something to look for in the future. But I would have liked something definitely in this area as well.
Okay. PJ.
That kind of sounds like Trials a little bit you're mentioning. But for like, not like for Chimera, for like PvE, that'd be cool.
What Jay
but
just
yeah.
mentioned?
Yeah. Sounds like what it was like Trials, like you do like
Yeah.
like an in-game, like a game inside the game.
Yeah, I get that's true. That's true. Okay.
Sorry, but yeah, as far as this, I think, I mean, if we're taking away, like, yeah, if
We're just
they could be
talking
working on
strictly
other bug
visual.
fixes.
No, the bug fixes
No, yeah.
and the visual
No, I'm
teams are two separate.
Right, you're right, yeah. So we're just talking about visuals, and yeah, I think they definitely missed. They could have done a lot with the Alice in Wonderland theme. I also think you guys are in my head because I was also going to mention the other hard dungeons. Like, yeah, they changed the like the skin of the boss, but I think they missed on the like outer area. Like they're all the same, so they could have changed the outer visual areas of the harder bosses as well. I think that would have been really cool. Kind of sucks it's the same, but yeah, I think they could have done a lot of things. Like you mentioned, this is like the Odin event. Like when you think of Odin and like the Fae Father, like this is kind of what you think of. This doesn't really make you think of Alice in Wonderland.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's a miss. They should have definitely catered it more towards the actual event that's happening and not just be lazy and leave what was there.
Right. They just changed. I think the only thing they really changed was just put her face here instead of Odin. Right. Zero. What about you?
Yeah, so yeah, we already covered me, but I just had one more little thought. Is would you give them if Plarium watched this podcast and listened to us and saw the chat?
They're watching.
They're watching. Okay, all right. Would you give them like a mulligan if they said, you know what, sounds like this is a really good idea. This thing's going to be in for another 2 months, and we reskinned it in a week or two. Would you be like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome if they just plopped it in and gave it to us in a couple weeks?
I would totally be happy with that. Like again, I mean, it should have been done at the start, but I'll take it. Anything to kind of freshen it up, because sometimes I'm sitting here on Discord, I'm hanging out with either the guys from Storm or Broncos Discord and stuff like that, or even when we're just sitting farming it and just like I kind of look through the animations in the background, just try to kind of see like there's a lot of cool things. And for this, it's just kind of like I really do enjoy looking at the background here. But it's just it just doesn't feel, you got wood painted back here, you got a burrow, just at least change the champions to something. Make it some hearts or something. But overall, let's talk about the difficulty of the dungeon itself. How different is your team from last time? I mean, my team pretty much the same. Actually, the only difference was instead of Saphirion, I was using a Crizia. And I could still use a Crizia on here. It's just Sulfurion brings the revive and the HP burn activation. And my Crizia is built in a Relentless set, so it doesn't work as well if she goes back in. Because for some reason, when you put a Crizia in, if she gets a Relentless proc, she doesn't go back after the boss. She goes after one of the adds. So it's just less RNG, more consistent of a time frame to bring it in Sulfurion. But Ken, how different is your team from last time? How challenging was it for you this time?
It wasn't challenging for me, but I like to try a little bit more free-to-play friendly team, especially with G-Nut.
What's not a free-to-play friendly team about Triple G-Nuts?
You want to ask that to the your friend?
I got a +4 Deacon. What's not free-to-play friendly about this? G-Nut was a fusion.
Yeah, one of them was the fusion, not three of them.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No worries. It's a little bit tougher than the previous one, I would like to say, because this Kaji over there, guys, has 300 speed. She has a cleanse ability. I don't remember the previous team was have a cleanse, right?
No,
And,
it had a provoke.
Yeah.
And
So
it
you can
had-
kill them by HP burn slowly, you know? You don't have to worry about the wave that much, to be
Right.
honest.
It had a
on
Valkyrie in the
this
wave
one-
too.
Yeah, Valkyrie doesn't matter, counter attack only. And yeah, I mean, they wasn't hurting. And you can kill them with the HP burn. But on this one, like, you need to be stop this Kaja. And how we are going to stop the 300 speed Kaja? Right? You can stop her one time with the Yakar or the Lookout Champion, maybe Warlord if you have 3 turn. But trust me, guys, that's not enough to let them burn from the HP burn. Depends your team. Especially if you have a 1 G-Nut, that's not enough. So you either need like cooldown reset, stuff like that, which is the Chimera or the Yumeko. Painkiller. I keep getting off from this tune. They are cooldown reset is not enough for the G-Nut because G-Nut is a 4-turn cooldown. And the Marius damage obviously is super low on this content, so maybe you guys don't have a G-Nut but have a Marius, you know, you play the game, you are end game. But Marius damage is not that there yet. Obviously, depends what you have on your roster, you know, if you're lucky to have Sulfurion or the Gizmak, they are going to help you a lot on this dungeon. But a little bit tougher, I would like to say.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I went with Alterion just to keep that fear off. I'm actually using Gurgo because he brings the decreased defense, and I have him with like super high AC. I don't know if it really helps, but I feel like he hasn't been 3%ed. Maybe I haven't watched
Isn't Gurgo a
enough.
guaranteed though for the freeze? Or maybe I'm thinking something else.
I don't remember exactly his kit because it just got reworked.
So the removes all buffs from all enemies, has an 80%, books up to 100, grants an extra turn. Okay, so yeah, it's not guaranteed. I thought it was a guarantee.
Yeah.
80%.
But I have him at like, what do I have him at? I don't know if I feel like the more I don't know. I have him at like 620 accuracy. It hasn't failed yet. And then I got a Crizzy Newt and a Kaimar reset, so it's fairly similar. I was using Vizog last time for HP burns, but the team's fight. It's like 13 seconds. It's pretty quick.
Okay.
And yeah.
Jay, what about yourself?
You're asking what champions I'm using?
Yeah, I mean, do you find your team building process from last time easier? You know, is the dungeon more difficult for you?
It's almost the same. People were suggesting certain things, like, you know, people sometimes in the community will just, you know, say whatever other people think instead of actually coming up with their own concepts. So they'll just say Inquisitor Shamiel or Carl. They'll just name stuff, and it's like, bruh, that's not gonna matter. You have to have everything speed tuned, especially because as you progress to the stage, when you get to 30, everything needs to be tuned for that. But overall, I was like, okay, let me try my own version. I tried using like control, like Armons. Of course, you weak hit, you gotta worry about, and then certain champions can control, but they can't 100% control because it can get 3%ed. So people wanted to like push towards these two champions that everyone has, usually at least one. Your Carl's easily can get through clan shop, and the other one, most people by now have at least one Inquisitor. Me personally, I tried a lot of different things. Eventually, when you're using a Carl, just for everybody in chat, it's not as easy as you think. Kaja and Cupidus have different speeds. So even though you can freeze one time, unless you have a reset or you can build your Carl even faster, you're not going to be able to freeze the second time. You'll freeze Kaja, but then Cupidus, because there's such a gap between the speeds, you're going to get screwed because he doesn't 100% freeze. It's only 75%, and if they're at 75% more turn meter, then he goes up to 100% chance. So you don't even need books if you have reset like Kaimar or Yumeko or something like that. But it's that key part that's important. So people were telling me like, hey, don't build accuracy, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But then I'm like, wait, what happens when I don't? You know, the turn meter doesn't tune up. and it doesn't work. So I had to still build Yakarl with a decent amount of accuracy to hit the Cupidus. But he's always unresistible the first time, but that second time you have to still build Ac. Well, that's for what I did, and I used double nut. I could use triple nut, but I didn't. I try to make it a little bit more, friendly.
Okay. I feel like Grim Reaper's here trying to pick on me a little bit. He's like, you got some sauce stains on your shirt, and I'm like, wait, what? I think he's just making me, brush it off my shoulder. I got 99 problems, but PJ, what about you, brother?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty similar to the other dungeon. I'm using pretty much the same team, except I switched out Kaimar for Yumiko, but I had to slow her down. I had to get her fast enough to reset or lock out the enemy, but slow enough to be like last on my team to reset my team. I'm using Electrion, Gina, Marius. I'm actually using Ugo just because I had her built for the Odin dungeon. She's pretty much just there for the decreased defense. And then Yumiko. There are some decent, I would say, like champion free-to-play friendly teams. The issue is it's not very free-to-play friendly on the gear.
Right.
Like
the gear, you bring a great point right there because of the gear, right?
Yeah.
I tried between farming stage 20 and 30, the gear gap that you have is tremendous.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like I know Boozer. This is I say this is pretty free to play friendly. It's Drang, Geomancer, Artak, Umbral, and Husk. And it's like 29 seconds, but the gear on them, like the speeds and stuff, is you got to go really, really fast. You have to have high accuracy. So even though like the champions, yeah, like a lot of free-to-play friendly players might have those, like I doubt they have the gear to actually be able to hit the stage 30 that what you need. So the stat requirement might be a little bit harder for this one, at least with like the Kaja being so fast, and then also like just like cleansing everything makes it quite annoying if you can't consistently lock her out or control her in some type of way.
Right.
So
well,
the
boss also has intimidating presence on, which kind of hurts us a little bit, right? But yeah, you bring a tremendous point right there, where the team and the team concept may very well be free to play friendly, but the gear requirements behind it are not, especially for somebody who has played less than maybe 2 years. Although could possibly be wrong. Again, if we have any players here that are 2 years or less that are farming stage 30 that are free to play, I would love if you hit in the Discord, show us your team and kind of share some of the stats, because I feel like this, especially for stage 30, is kind of there's free to play concepts, but not for newer players, not for players that are less than 2 years old, unless you have some phenomenal luck. Zero, what about yourself?
Yeah, so it was harder for me. I did throw my first, my Odin team. I still had it in my little save teams or whatever, and I threw that, and that was like Elatrion, and I was using Arbiter for like speed boosts and stuff. And I'll just say that, and PJ makes a great point. For me personally, I hate the gear, having to deal with the gear in this game. A lot of times once I get a champion build, I don't even want to touch them. And I know they've done some things to make it a little bit better, like with the free re-gear sets, and now the save sets. And I haven't taken the time to convert over to like building certain sets with. And this one, that's the challenge for me on this one. Is it was more, you had to have better stats, I guess, on this one than the last one. So and then again, for me personally, doing the free to play, but then we had the artifact enhancement right there at the end of the weekend, and I'm just weird like that. I like to min max, or I like to kill two birds with one stone. So I basically sat on it for the last couple of days. I haven't completed 30. I've done up to 29, and when I do 29, it's not 100%. So again, I'm going to attempt to do this team, which is going to be Elatrion to put the block debuffs out, your curl right out the rip. And then my goal, so it's a good point with what Giarso just said, is to not build accuracy and try to get the freeze out the rip, and then have the burners come in and they both activate Gizmak and whatchamadoodle, and then have the machine gun Tormund knock them down and kill them. It'll be a slower run because your ads are dying with the burn to do the burn damage on the boss. But I think if you just take care of the ads, you'll be good to go. So that's going to be my attempt without a reset. But I will say again, I said it earlier, it's kudos to them. There's multiple ways to do it. Yeah, there's reset champions, there's Shamel, there's burns, there's enemy max HP. So there's tons of ways to tackle this, which I think is cool. I just hate having to do their gear piece. So that's where I'm at. What about you?
So myself, again, the team did not change one bit other than, I could have left the Acrizia in. So I feel like at least for stage 30, right, it could have been something a little more different. It could have been something a little more challenging. But again, and I know that not everybody has triple G nuts, but you could basically come in with a double G nut or a Marius. Although Marius, you have to turn off his A3 because you can't have the buffs. And enemy max HP hitters are just gonna shine, right? So I feel like this still was just a miss. I would have loved to see something else, just a little more tougher. Like, I think by far the most enjoyable dungeon for me, at least, is Fire Knight, and not because it's got some of the better gear in it. It's just because the complexity of trying to get the shield down, trying to get everything through with the freeze, with making everything go and mesh well, just fits perfectly. And that's what I would love to see with these event dungeons. Even though it's a shorter time frame that these are live, I feel like that could be one of the things that makes the event dungeon shine. But again, it's just me. It's my personal opinion. A lot of people may not see it the same way. Let me ask you guys though, what would you suggest? Should people be farming now? Again, this is account dependent, but should people be farming stage 20? Right, where it's much more of a reduced chances to get the legendaries and the mythicals, but the stat requirements are much lower? Or should they be trying to push for that stage 30 or somewhere in between? Ken?
I mean, if they can do stage 30, of course do the 30, which is especially upcoming tournament tomorrow. I believe you are asking this question for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
This tournament, I believe, is the turn attack, right? And usually this kind of tournament, higher stage give you more benefit, like more point based.
I don't think it's a turn attack.
It usually was turn attack on the Odin dungeon. I remember pretty well.
So it doesn't say as less turns as possible, right? It just says beat the dungeon. And the reason I say that, Ken, is because when you go in and you fight, again, this is like 6 turns. There's nothing here at the end that will tell us how many turns we took. So I don't think it's a turn dungeon based.
Okay. All right. Still, if you farming, if you have a safe team, if you have a
yeah, there's no
team.
Sorry, there's nothing here that shows that there's any turns taken. It's just best time.
If you can farm there safe and kind of fast, of course farm the stage 30 is more chance to get a 6-star mythical and the legendary gear. But if you can't, it's not end of the day, guys, which means you are kind of like early game stuff like that. Farm the stage 20, farm the stage 15, farm the stage whatever, but to get the pinpoint set. Get the pinpoint set is very strong. Pinpoint set is amazing, chat. And it's limited. I mean, we know this dungeon going to be open again, but
6 months from now, you have enough time to farm. Yeah. You have enough time to save your gems. 6 months from now. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I actually haven't attempted this on my free-to-play account yet. I'm interested to see how far I can get it, but I would recommend definitely try to push as far as you can. If you can farm 20, or if you can farm 30, it doesn't cost more, right? Than if you were to farm like whatever 21. I think it jumps to that. So
stage 20 is 16 energy.
Yeah.
So from stage 25 and on, it's the same.
Yeah, so I would say farm the highest. The the odds are only a little bit better, but I don't know. You got to take what little you can get in this game, I guess.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, most players should farm. I've seen like a person who doesn't have Lydia, so they're not even mid game. They were able to get to like 21. They got stuck around 22. So the average player is going to be from 22 to 30. And I think you should, if you're trying to be energy efficient, you're going to farm 24 because it's less energy. And if you're trying to like late to end game, push from 25 to 30. And that's what I would just do. I mean, based on the account, right? Of course, push the highest, but if you can only get to like 24 or 25, you can choose, hey, you want to pay that extra energy for a little bit of chance, or you can save a lot more energy by doing 24. So that's what I would do.
Okay. PJ, what about yourself?
If you can only do 20, do 20. If you can do 30, I would say it's mostly about consistency. You don't want a team that's like 80%, 70% win rate. You want to make sure that you're close to that 100% as much as possible. I think a lot of people are getting stuck on like 25 and maybe 27, I think is maybe a tough one as well. But yeah, just farm the highest stage you can and just pray that you get some good drops.
Okay. By the way, this is another team that you could run for stage 20, your Arbiter and an ally attack. It's about a 30 seconds depending on which one you have, but it's very consistent. Once you get the ads down, the boss doesn't really do a lot of damage. So Zero, what about yourself?
Let's see. Sorry, what's the question? The ads.
No.
Where to farm?
Where should people be farming? What do you think people should be doing? Should they try to be pushing for the highest, or should they just maximize like stage 20 teams and farm that?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just standard advice you would give to anybody asking is like go to where you have 100%, right? Yeah. Because you know every time you fail and miss a run, and the worst thing you can do. So what I would tell you, and this is what I've done for myself, is turn off super rage. Go up as high as you can with the team, and then if you feel comfortable and it doesn't look kludgy, like you have full control over the fight, then you turn on super rage and let it run. The worst thing you can do is think you have something that's 100%, turn on super rage, walk away for 5 minutes, come back, and you've lost half your fights and burned, half your energy, or a couple hundred energy, and you got nothing out of it. So that's probably the best advice I would say to give to anyone, and that's tough to do, but you can certainly do it. And then obviously, if you have the account and you can do it, hit 30 and always do 30. Can. But again, you need to be 30 100%. That's why I've been okay to go down to 27, 28 and run it, because I know I'm 100% at least at 27. So
okay. All right. So overall on the Odin Dungeon, I think, again, the only difference here is we get more champions that we're going to be FOMOing in to try to pull, and I guess we're just going to farm pinpoint. All right, I want to change topic now to the patch itself. Now, the patch itself brought out a couple of things. First of all, it brought out a bug that was supposed to be fixed on Hydra, right? But hey, Plarium tested things out, right? We've got Serpent Swell out on every single head again. What do you guys have to say about this? Ken?
Look at the coding, man. Like every time they release something, it's ruined another coding. Like this game need to be like erased everything, and they need to rewrite it from beginning. Like everything is connect each other, and the thing they want to change, they cannot change because they are going to ruin something. I believe this is the reason for that. Lots of the stuff they cannot do that. For example, L attack, right? Like how you cannot fix the L attack? They can't. Because if they decide to fix the L attack thing on the Hydra, I'm talking about, guys, it's going to probably ruin something bigger, and they don't want it. And even though they actually decide to take the players' anger on them, and yep, they are not looks like fixing the L attack stuff. So It's a spaghetti coding, man. Like it's a hard at this point, to be honest. Like every time they release a champion, every time they release a new content, every time they release a relics, which is we got the new relics. I don't know, like, are they properly tested? Event relics, I mean. Maybe they are going to be cause the problem now. Like every time I see something weird in the game on these days, I'm like, is that a bug or is that a relics? Wait, relic can do that, Because on the arena, especially from this week, guys, lots of the people got like relics, and this relic says like insane stuff, man. Like I see like nice stealing my Gizmok unkillable buff, bro. Like what the hell, dude? Like it's so annoying. Like, and I cannot be remember every relics though. I'm like seeing like some champion in the weird buff. I'm like, I think it's a relics, right? That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's a bug, Oh, this question mark.
I guess the question I really gotta ask is, how does a patch that have nothing to do with Hydra itself
exactly? It's a spaghetti coding. It's a spaghetti coding.
It's astonishing that this happens. And then again, the response is, hey guys, we're gonna fix it sometime soon. Maybe in the next day or so, but we have no definitive time, which was kind of one of those things. Was like, seriously, it's just very, very frustrating and annoying. But Gestal, I mean, you do coding, if I'm not mistaken. What do you got to say about this, brother?
I have a degree in it. I don't really do a ton of it though. I actually could see how this could happen. Not to be crazy, but. They were probably working on an old version, implementing something, and this was, this was the old version, and that's what got released. I could totally see this happening. It's stupid. They probably shouldn't have been working on that version, but I could see this happening. But hopefully they fix it quick. I don't see why it would be that hard to fix. Have they fixed it yet?
No, no, there's no patch, no nothing that's been talked about or shown that this has been done.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested. They're not going to tell us what happened, but I'd be interested to hear what happened. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but it's not out of the realm, I guess. Because it's like I could totally see them just having, like, they have infinite amount of versions that they're probably working on, and for some reason, like, this was the one that this was the one change that was not applied to a version or something.
Okay, so I guess what you're saying is that as the coding team, or that they're implementing certain things, they're using an older version, they're not using the newer version.
Like, they may have been testing on it, yeah. Like, not realizing they were on the wrong version, and then they got it to work, and they're like, okay, let's roll, and then, like, oh, shoot. Like, this wasn't the right version. Like, so I could see, I don't know that's what happened, but I'm saying, like, I could see something like that happening, yeah.
Okay. T-Bone brings out something funny here. So this was actually pulled from the Discord from Bronco, where he posted this on. If you look at the turn count, it's turn boss count 999 out of 1,000 that this happened, which just kind of kicks in the nuts, right? Jay, what do you got to say, man?
Well, wait a sec. Well, this was when he was messing with that champ?
Yeah, I think so. This was the turn meter equalization thingy.
I don't
Because they were, the boss didn't take any turns. Yeah, like, anytime they come, ultimately when they all come back, that's just what's gonna happen, right?
But the team did like 18 million damage. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're gonna have the Serpent's Will on the whole time, right?
Right, but at the start, but if there's no boss count, right, at the start of it, it still should not have all Serpent's Will. Like when they all spawn.
No, but they're all gonna die. He's gonna kill everybody until they all have Serpent's Will, basically.
Yeah, I get that, but it's still like not. It shouldn't be happening according to them. But even this, there's.
I don't. This isn't a good judgment of that. This isn't a good representation, bro. The bosses didn't take a turn.
There's other screenshots that have been floating around there, and even Plarium came out and said that, hey, we know that this is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not, you know, it's not that this was, but this was just the one that I found to be able to utilize.
Okay.
So, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's really interesting that he came up with this. Like, looks like the ticks of the turn meter and abusing the skill kit of the new Unity champion and Knight Revenants, being able to, because we're not decreasing the speed or turn meter of the boss, but in terms of equalization, definitely it's scary because you can create some crazy infinite loops that would be going against the, I guess what, you know, I guess TOS is like, you're not supposed to be like creating infinite bugs or stuff. But I think it's important, right? As players, we have to find out what's going on. Just like the mark, you don't want, I mean, the buff, you don't want that having to be coming back because people are already not happy with Hydra. You don't want to make it even worse. So
Right.
At least they're addressing it, but they should take it more serious since what happened previously with Hydra. So, but I don't work in the departments. I don't know how long, but that would take. But hopefully sooner than longer, because knowing them, they might just throw it in the rug and it might just stay there for the next 2 months and then they get fixed, right? So, but yeah, I think this is an interesting fact as well with this picture is that him finding this is going to make sure, hopefully, there's no future bugs when it comes to equalization or turn meters. So
Well,
I think they can kill
curious-
two. They can kill two birds with one stone.
I'm curious to see if they're going to actually, for anybody that has pulled the Knight Revenant Unity champion, which I did on one of my alt accounts, does this mean that this guy is about to get nerfed, changed, or what? Because I'm gonna be pissed if I spent the shards or wasted my shards getting him, and then all of a sudden he goes to like half as decent as or half as good as he is. Granted, he's a phenomenal champion, but yeah, I feel like this again, it just explains a lot of things that they should have tested and didn't. PJ, what about you, man? What do you think?
Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate. Obviously, we don't like to see this. This is one of the things I mentioned in a previous podcast. I'm hoping with the new acquisition of MTG will help. I'm pretty sure in one of the newsletters or like the reports that they said that they're trying to help. They're gonna try to help Plarium with optimization and game optimization. So I'm really hoping that when they get together, they can kind of go through and help work out all these bugs that Plarium has kind of gotten. That's one thing that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, it's unfortunate if this happened. Hopefully you guys just, I guess, didn't keep the key. If it happened at the very, very, very end, that's really unfortunate. But yeah, not much we can really do. We'll probably get like a energy refill, like an arena refill,
multi-battles.
Yeah, and sorry guys, it won't happen, but it probably will happen again. It's not ideal.
I feel like there's a conversation I had with somebody else who said that it was basically, the Unity is where they're coding everything, and it's so outdated that they need to move to, I don't know what the new platform is, I forget what he said, but they said that it really needs to be put onto the new platform. Now, I guess a good question would be should they come out with Raid Shadow Legends on the new platform and then just bring everything over for us, right? Transition our accounts over from Unity to the other one. I don't know if it's doable, but maybe that might help eliminate a lot of these bug fixes or these bugs that keep coming in the game, right? Zero, what do you got to say about this, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think what I'll say, and Gestal will appreciate this because I too study coding. I don't do it as much anymore, but when I was going to school way back in the day, before some of you were even born, PJ.
Thanks, Dad. Sorry, Grandpa.
Yeah. No. It just goes to show if you're going to be a coder, you have to document what you're doing in the code itself, and you have to really do a good job of defining your objects and making sure it's done. And I feel like we joke about spaghetti code, but I feel like all these different things they've added to the game over time are just completely different things, and they're just borrowing code from one place to the other place and doing all this crazy crap. So I can see how it happened. I think Gestal probably hit the nail on the head. They probably had multiple versions of the code, and they just grabbed that object that had the older version before the fix. and they can fix it. But it just goes to show, if you're creating a new game, make sure you document it very well and define your objects. So there you go.
I feel like definitely having the discussion at Plarium about moving over from Unity to I really forget what the new one is called that everything's being developed on.
Unreal 5.
Unreal 5, yeah, there we go. Having it being developed on that one, and then just making it backwards compatible might just solve a lot of things, and should probably be a conversation that they have, right?
Well, and
The thing that worries me there though is that they might be like, oh, Raid 2 on a better
I know
platform, you know, and then it's like, sorry, Plarium.
I don't think that
fall
should
for
happen.
that trick, buddy.
Yeah,
if they port it over your account, I'm all for it, bro. But if they're like, Raid, we're done with Raid and we're going to Raid 2, see ya.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
And the other thing too, just to note, right, because you have Apple devices and
Samsung.
whatever. Yeah. But what's the code name on it?
Android,
yeah. You got Android and iOS, right, on top of like the PC. So you have 3 different essential operating systems that the same game has to work on, right? So that just adds a layer of complication.
True,
as well, so.
True. But with the millions and millions of dollars that they make, I think they could definitely do something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. The big thing this week, guys, we got a rework. We waited 5 years. 5 years, and Kenpachi's already smiling. I can see the look on his face.
Laughing.
5 years, guys. We waited for a rework to this market. Oop, there we go. I waited 5 years for that.
That's not the rework, by the way. That engine chart was not rework.
But we're going to start getting some epic gear, some legendary gear, and some other things here. Oh, no, wait, no. All we're getting is absolutely crap gear. Let's talk about this. I've seen some screenshots of pieces of gear that are pretty crazy, right? I mean, this one right here, the substats on it are decent, right? I think if this was attack percentage, I for an early game account, I would say, okay, go for it. But 9.4 million silver for this. All right, Ken, fire it off.
I watched your video on this, and I kind of disappointed, man. But Riad is disappointed me on this day spirit often, so I'm not getting disappointed that much anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. But obviously this gear is still pretty amazing, by the way. You can get like quads.
They've set your standards so low that when they do stuff like this,
They
it doesn't really
increase it.
bothers you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they are keep lowering my standard by releasing this kind of content. Like, end of the day, I'm finding myself like, why you bother? Like, why you waste your time for that?
Okay.
You know? Okay, this changes, not bad. First of all, okay? For the early game, mid game, but who the hell on the early game, mid game has a 9 million silver to pay for the glow,
Exactly.
man?
It was like 3,000 energy when I did the math. It was like 3,000 energy in Spider Stage hard mode 10 for you to be able to
They can't even
out.
farm Spider Stage 20 probably yet, you know?
Yep.
And for the end game, obviously V's going to buy that because it's a speed gear, you know? But beside the speed gear, there is nothing. Like nothing for the end game. Nobody gonna purchase that, you know?
Yep.
And I am end game, right? I'm not a whale, guys. And I won't purchase that for the 9 million. Bro, 9 million silver is a lot, man.
I'm just saying.
I have a big silver problem.
I'm just saying, why can't I sell my shitty gear or gear like
Exactly.
this that I'm getting back for this much silver? Right? It's absolutely, it was comical.
Yeah.
I will say that on that video, Ken, there were a lot of people that kind of, I did get a significant amount of thumbs down. And some of the comments were just like, you could chill it down a little bit. I'm like, well, but wait, this is really 5 years for this, and this is the result that we got.
That's not reward, by the way. They just update the percent of the. I mean, they just switch to the 6-star also available there. I won't call that reward, man. It's like the most of the buff they are
I didn't say
releasing.
reward. I don't use the word reward with Plarium. Result.
Yeah, exactly. Like like it's not hard to think, you know, like they release a lot of content, right? Lots of content, like they are doing that, like they are keep releasing more content. But put there like Dust, Mortal Soulstone, you know, stuff like that, Immortal Soulstone, maybe for the like an engine chart 5 times a month, you know, they can put there like Sun Devil Dust, stuff like that. But where did they put the Sun Devil Dust? The clan show. Which one of you is a 21 level clan? And it's a weakness stuff, bro. It's a weakness stuff. Like,
I'm joking.
If you place a primal quartz there, you know, that will be nice. You know, maybe you can only purchase with your gem. You know, there's a games are doing that. Watcher of Ram.
Yep.
Watcher of Ram market is great, by the way.
I was just gonna say, I think
put their
Watcher of
potion
Realms
keeps material. You know, they can keep them potion keep materials there.
Watcher
Like,
of
you
Realms
can
has
put-
set like the standard, I think, in the market, because granted, I haven't played a lot of these other games. I've, you know, tested them out just to kind of see if it's something I want to play. But with Watcher of Realms, I really like that you could buy rare champions. I really like that you could buy multi-battles, all this stuff out of there. I think that's the kind of stuff that we need in the shop.
You know, like, and like you said, like they just need to copy that, man.
Yeah.
They just need to copy that. You know, they don't even need to work hard for that.
You know, I feel like they could utilize gems, and we would actually spend them. Like if you can go in and buy, I don't know, 15 gems or 20 gems for an apothecary early on, even maybe 50 gems, I think that'd still be worth it, right? I do want to point out a comment here from I Am Joe Kane. He makes a perfect comment. He's like, our gear won't even sell for 10% of that. 6-star legendary piece sells for 58.
Full ascended. I mean, full upgraded.
Yeah, fully upgraded. Now, with that said, if the pieces of gear were fully upgraded at 9 million silver, okay, if I could see the substats, I would say, okay, that's perfect. Right? Ascended, oiled, all that stuff. I would say, okay, that's a 10 million silver investment. I'll take it. But yeah, I agree with you, Ken. They just, it's absolutely comical. It's comical on how bad this was implemented. Look at this. Gestal.
Yeah, I had actually, the first time I saw a piece, it was a weapon for like almost 5 million. It was like 4.9 million or something like that. And I posted that in the Discord and I was like, damn, 5 million. And then someone posted the 10 million piece. I'm like, oh, snap. So it's a ton of money. It's shocking, honestly. Like I don't, like I said, I haven't picked up energy in like a year or two. So I'm not like swamped in silver. I have to manage, even on my whale account, I have to manage my silver. I'm typically, if it's not a fusion, I might be around 20 million. And then I'm typically dipping below 5 million during fusions. So I don't have silver just lying around typically, unless, whatever. So it's a lot of silver, man. My free-to-play can't afford that for sure. I gotta save every bit of silver for the fusions on the free-to-play. So it's shocking. And to your points on the selling of gear, I've been saying this for a long time. Like, I don't necessarily care about the gear being cheap to sell at level 1, but if you're throwing in 4, 5, 6 million sometimes to fully upgrade a piece, and then you're getting 60k for it, like, give me a freaking break. That's insane. You should get more back. It should, like, I don't know, there should be some sort of levels where like you get maybe $1 million back if you have it fully 16 or something. I don't know. I've always been harping on that. I think that's garbage.
I agree. I think that's a great point, because you're getting some value back from whatever resources you put into that, right? Jay, what are your feelings about the market, man?
I mean, it's nice that they added 6-star gear, but that should have been there since day one, because once we got to level 100, I think that's what it should have been, right? And you can still pick up pieces like regeneration, speed, accuracy. But now, 5 years later, bro, we got perception, we have pinpoint, we like most of this stuff you don't need. Now there's still some players who are short on regeneration to solo or things like that, and you can look at the price, but you also have to look at the stats too. I don't just look at the piece and, you know, if you could bring up the speed one real quick so I can give you an example.
I think I just reset that.
No, the one that you had earlier.
I think I closed that window down. Yeah, I closed that window down. Give me a second. I'll find it for you. It was they were coming in on the Discord for the memes. Right here. Here you go.
Yeah. So when you look at a piece of gear, you're normally gonna, of course, you look at the set and you're like, oh, is this a nice set? So it's speed, right? So what would I value this normally? Well, it's 6-star speed, so that's nice. It's legendary, so we can quad. You look at the main stat, go crit rate. All right, am I going to be really using crit rate? Because we do it early to mid game, but afterwards, you don't really usually use that. You want your damage dealers to be crit damage and HP and defense. Then you look at the substats and look at, is it low rolling? Is it medium rolling? Look what they gave us a flat attack. And then we're losing 1 accuracy out of our accuracy substat. But it's still good because we know accuracy is good in speed. Then we got crit damage. Okay, that's okay, but that low roll too. So when you start thinking like, damn, why is Plarium charging so much if I'm getting these low rolls? Like, they're overflating it because it's speed and act in a speed set. So this should have been at least 5-6 mil. I could see that. But players don't realize this could be a scam for most people. We already have a silver problem.
Even
Do you buy that?
5-6 mil, bro, that's a lot of energy. That you're talking like I want to say close to like 15 energy to farm that silver, bro. And that's meaning that you're gonna sell everything from Spider, because you're talking about 1,500 energy is needed at 5 million. So when I did my calculations, and this was just getting, you know, like a 6-star 6-star epic and like a 5-star rare, I was making like barely anything. It was like 100 million silver per run. So you're talking like at least a day's energy. And the problem with that is also that if it does cost that much, who the hell is going to farm a day's energy in the next hour to be able to buy this before the shop resets? Right? That's the other thing, is if you are looking at going for something like this, this is going to sit there for 1 hour. Once that refresh is over, it's gone. And if you don't have the silver, you're not, you know, the RNG of getting this back again is very slim to none. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, but continue.
Yeah, definitely that this other valuation is way too high. But getting that type of stuff, like triple rolls, like, you know, people always say Spider's dead, right? Because now we have perception. But I'm still farming Spider, which is crazy.
Right,
you might be like, wow,
silver farm.
Because, well, silver, but the factions, they have like 3x Sacred Order, 3x, you know, Night Revenants is going on right now. Those things matter to me because I still have champions that I want to get there. I don't want to get random stuff. Even Pinpoint might be okay, but what if that champion doesn't need accuracy, and I need the actual stats? So, overall, they inflated this. This is actually okay for most of the people coming into the game, like mid game and late, but end game, I haven't found a piece yet. Hopefully, I'm thinking of maybe regeneration, maybe if I get a nice one, but it's probably going to be overinflated to 7 to 10 million. It's just too much silver. People don't have, like, people have it, but not enough to just, then you have to level it up, then you have to glyph it up, then you have to send it up. It's just too much. Like, they need to realize that and then reduce it, because there's more to do in raid than there was before. So we had a silver problem back then, and now it's still a little bit of a problem if you're not endgame and not you know, gear cleansing correctly and stuff like that. So I think they should just cut these down by like 50 to 60%. I think it would be a lot better in general.
Okay. All right. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny to see how much they value silver for them, but how like little they value it for us. Like you guys kind of mentioned, if we would have sold that same exact piece, we'd be getting like 100,000, but they're selling that piece for 9 million. So yeah, I definitely think that they need to cut the prices down. There are some good pieces in there. Like someone sent a piece on my Discord. It was a 6-star Lego cursed chest, accuracy with flat attack, we had speed, HP %, and res for 4 million, which actually like isn't that bad. But generally, yeah, a lot of the pricing is just way too high. It's kind of like the same concept as, well, not concept, but like people, like whales that buy gear packs. like where you're guaranteed to get that 6 pieces of the mythical legendary, but there you don't know the substats. At least here we can see the substats, which is nice. So if you have the silver, I could see some pieces being used or like being bought, but usually people that have the silver are probably not going to need it. The people that do need it aren't going to have the silver or wouldn't be worth using the silver. But I mean, you could put all that energy into like a 3x speed and not get nearly as good pieces. You could get really good pieces. So you're losing the gamba, but the price they charge is just so overvalued. I agree with JR. They need to cut it by like 50 to 60%, and then I think it would be a lot better. But I've heard a lot of people in my chat come in and say that they really like the market upgrade, and
the design of it itself is great.
Not even that, they like the actual market, like this part.
Really interesting, because I was just looking at a message in Twitch from T-Bone, and he's like, to buy it, if you were to use their silver, right? You're talking 80k silver. It would actually cost you 4,730 gems to buy that piece of gear if you just bought out of here, which is crazy. That's crazy. Zero, what about you, man? What do you think?
So I'm glass half full on this. Yeah, those calculations are absolutely crazy. But then, like, what about the crazy whales that go and buy the gear packs, right? Like, you don't even know what stats you're getting when they go and do that. So they'll go spend up. I've seen certain people do it, and they'll spend $200 or $300, and they might get like 2 keepable pieces. So I want to give Plarium props for putting everything in one place. That's awesome, because there's nothing more frustrating with the silly cooldowns than to forget, I have a Sacred Shard that has a monthly cooldown that I need to buy right when the reset happens. So it's cool if you can just look at it all in one place. So I give them credit for that. And I know y'all kind of touched on this, but like, you can spend that much energy farming gear and you don't even get a piece keepable, much less roll it, right? So I think, the price is a little bit extra inflated. I've actually been fortunate enough to reach to the point where I'm earning silver. And maybe I'm just not doing stuff right. I think the free gear cleanse has at least upped the ability to hoard more silver, right? So you're not having to swap again. Again, I've already said earlier in the stream that I hate swapping out gear, so I never even wasted silver swapping gear for the most part. But all that being said, I give them credit for when you click a piece of gear, you can at least see what the stats are, like that speed set one. Yeah, it had one flat stat, but again, you buy that and quad roll that speed, and now all of a sudden you have a top tier, you're putting on your fastest person. So you at least know what you're getting if you choose to buy the piece. Whereas, hell, you could farm and get 100 pieces out that are keepable according to your algorithm and still not even be as good as potentially a piece that could show up in the plan shop. So that's probably why the prices are so high. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of half and half, and I know I'm fortunate enough to be at the end game where silver isn't an issue for me. But now that I'm doing the free to play thing, I'm looking at it, and the most they're throwing in here is like 3-star gear and stuff. But yeah, even for a crappy piece of offense 3-star, they want 28,000 silver. That's steep for a really terrible piece. So
right.
Hopefully they'll make some adjustments.
This right here for me, I feel, is probably one of the worst investment. And I've heard everybody's argument about it, right? Because they're like, well, we're gonna get 6-star legendary pieces. We can chaos. So again, to your point, you don't know what the subsets are gonna be. So why would you run that risk, right? Now let's the counter argument to me making that is, I would spend the same buying energy. And with the energy, I could farm the gear. I may not get 6 pieces of legendary 6-star, but I'll get the much more silver. I'll get much more XP for my champions if I'm running food with them, right? So I guess it literally depends on what your spending habits are and what, where you are in the game. But for me especially, I've never purchased one of these and never will. I feel like these are the biggest scams out there.
Yeah,
even
big
if they
scams.
were mythicals.
Yeah, and just to add to it, I feel like this game, like gear is the most important part of this game. It almost doesn't even matter what your champions are. Yeah, certain champions do certain niche things that make things, super awesome. But if you don't really have good gear, and then gear is also the most crappy, sync of the game too.
Right.
It's weird.
Right.
Can I mention one more thing as well?
Yep.
Some people in chat said this also, and when I was streaming, some people mentioned this as well. I think especially on mobile, the refresh and X,
Yeah,
they're
we're
so
just
close
gonna
together.
touch. I was just gonna
People
touch
are-
up on that.
Yeah, sorry if I jumped the gun, but yeah. But yeah, that's definitely an issue, especially on mobile.
Yeah, it hasn't happened to me on PC, but it has happened to me on mobile. And that is one of those things where it's like, really, why does it need to be so close? There's a button down here. Use this right here, right? We're not using this. But for mobile, it's not a big problem. Like, you click on the X, but for PC players, sorry. But for mobile players, this is absolutely like, I can't imagine how many people are hitting this. Especially if there's like a delayed reaction, right? Where you try to click out of it and it doesn't go and you keep tapping, and all of a sudden you've refreshed 3 or 4 times and you're just like, shit, where did my gems go? To that aspect, what would you say to Plarium there, Ken? Should they leave it there or should they move it?
Definitely move it, man. Like, if people are not happy about that, we actually checked that on yesterday, I believe, on the stream. Michael Amvet was talking about it. He's pretty much mobile player, and man, you need to like hold your phone like that, flat surface. Then you need to use your little finger, not this one. This is little bit thick. So, yep, you need to click there like very, very slowly, and that can work. That can work. Like that.
Thumb
like
too
that.
big.
Yeah, thumb is too
thumb.
big. This is
No
too big.
thumb.
Like,
Just gotta
even my
use the pinky.
thumb is very big, which is I have a very small hand.
And Ken is a
And,
very small,
yeah.
Male too. What?
Size does not matter.
Well, when you can fit in my computer box, it does matter.
It's a big case, dude.
Gestal, what about you, man?
Wait, what was the question?
The refresh button, how close it is to, the X up here.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a couple times. It's also annoying for Classic Arena because it's basically the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, pretty annoying. I don't know if that's by design or not, but
it is.
because they want people losing a couple chips here and there. Yeah, I suppose, right? It's yeah, I don't know. They should probably move it. They also added this new like when they have those their advertisements pop up every 2 seconds on the home screen, they've added some new text on the bottom right, and you can't click out of the stupid ad now. Yeah, the pop-ups like from the home screen, because that text is like part of the image, so you can't click out of it. Like on the bottom right, you have to like click out of the ad like on the middle. It's really annoying.
Really?
If anyone else, I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. I hate it. I've been yelling about it in stream.
I'm trying to proc an ad to pop out. Usually I can't get the things to shut the
I know.
off.
I know.
And now when I
You
really
need
want
it,
it
it doesn't come
to,
out.
it's like, to Zero's point earlier, are they watching? Yeah, no, they're watching and they're making sure I'm not getting ads right now to bring that up.
I will close my phone for that. Like, I will turn off my phone instead of the risking.
Jay, what about you, man? What do you think?
All they gotta do is the timer for the market and the button to refresh with gems. Just swap them. It's that easy, but they don't want.
Fair point, man. Fair point. I mean, I get it that they just put all these buttons here close to it, but yeah. PJ.
Yeah, I was in the same. I was just gonna say, just move it to the left. Like, just move it to the left of the refresh if they want, or they could swap it with the refresh. But definitely seems like it was a. People in my chat seemed like they thought it was a UI. They did it on purpose to make people.
Yeah.
Fat finger it and misclick, and there's 5. Oh, there's 5. If 10,000 people would go, there's 5. The gems be adding up, or 100,000 people. But yeah, just move it to the left or do something. But it's very annoying for a lot of people, especially mobile. And this is a mobile game.
You'll
seems like
know
an
it's a
easy
big
fix, too.
problem when we start getting those sack of gems that we haven't seen in how many years now.
Yeah,
Right?
no, they usually do them during the holiday Christmas time, but they didn't do it this year.
Yeah, they haven't done a lot of things during the holiday times. Zero, what about yourself, brother?
Yeah, it's annoying. I think what's even worse, I'm not sure y'all mentioned, was sometimes you get lag. So sometimes I'm faster at what I'm trying to do, and then I go and click and I know I'm clicking the X, but the lag when you flip to the screen sometimes will, boom, and do it. And what's silly too is they have so many pop-ups in the game. Are you sure you want to do this? Like, that's the one that they need to have it. And the one that really pisses me off is on tag team. Right when the reset's about to happen, and you have a couple easy ones, and I've clicked that refresh, and like I think it's like, how many is it for that? How much is it? Yeah, hit refresh.
15. I'm not hitting refresh. I got
Okay,
like 5
yeah.
teams here that I can take.
But this is a perfect example. Is like this one. It's first of all, it's 15, and why is it not 5? And
'Cause
yeah,
it's
you
3 times
lose your
arena
easy
teams. That's why.
Yeah, you lose your easy fights. Yeah, and so that's the one that really pisses me off. I was like, oh, but I wish it would give us a pop up on the refresh. That would be
I love that
ideal
avatar.
and helpful.
Where did
Yeah,
that
that's a cool
avatar
one.
come from?
It's a really, really old one, I think.
Holy smokes. That's
He's
cool.
the first CC. They ask him
First
to,
CC?
we can give you, They ask him to, we can give you special avatar, whatever you want. And this is what he choose. I think this is his also profile picture on the stream. I don't know.
Wow.
He's
Okay.
a Ukrainian maybe content creator, I believe.
That's cool. I did not even know that. Oh, yeah. And you look at his account, 2018.
Yep.
Wow.
You guys saw the
Wow.
Supreme Club new avatar by the way? That's super cute.
Yeah,
Like frozen
snowman.
Yeah, Snowman is so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's the shop was definitely a failure. I feel like we got to go back in and rework that. Jay, by the way, here's the proof of the one-man teams in Gold 4. They do exist. Not when you're up here though. No. All right. Let's talk shoutouts. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me?
Hold on.
Oh boy. He's
Where
like,
is my
wait,
shout out?
I've got it.
Can I shout out too?
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I like to shout out the DK Tanjiro. He's also the streamer friend guy, streamed Raid Shadow Legends. I'm gonna leave his link over there. Make sure to follow him. And the second shout out is going to Isabella. And we are a little bit talking, maybe girlfriends, stuff like that.
Kenpachi.
I don't think I've seen Ken's face ever get red, and it's getting red right now. Look at it. Zero, what about you? What you got for a shout out?
Yeah, so I sent you a picture, if you could pull that up. So this person does not need a shout out, but I have to shout them out. hellhades.com. And he did a video, and what's cool is they'll refresh all the content creators like dynamically on their website, and he just happened to be shooting a video. And so I took a screenshot and just sent it to him. I said, hey man, I'm sorry that my elephant rubbed your head and you don't want to know what it smells like. For the record, it smells like smoked meat and desperation. He doesn't know that, but it's a long story. But yeah, shout out to Hell Hades. It was a lot of work for him and his team to put it on. I know he got sponsors and stuff because I'm sure it costs him money to kind of do this. And it's been really cool. And I streamed it on Friday because that's when it went live too. And I got a bunch of new eyeballs on the channel and stuff by participating. So yeah, just shout out for him and his team for putting this on. And it's been really fun.
Awesome.
And I don't think I need to put his link in the chat. I think everybody knows who he is. But
yes,
shout out to Hell Hades.
PJ, what about you? What you got?
All right, we got a shout out to Mr. Sutta. He was actually the one that was talking about that had the Yakarl video on YouTube. He's been streaming more. Check him out on Twitch as well. I post the link. Really chill dude. Drop him a follow, say what's up, and yeah, just an awesome guy.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
I always shout out the low people that are not that big. I actually came across someone new that's actually not affiliated with other stuff. And the channel is KEKW Shadow Legends. So if you'd like to see a new upcoming Raid Shadow Legends content, definitely check that out.
All right. Gestal, what about yourself?
Well, I'm out here in LA, man. I want to shout out my both my brother-in-laws are firefighters, battling. They've been out there pretty much since it started. So huge shout out to them and everybody that's having to deal with that, all the first responders and stuff. Not to get all cheesy, but it's hard work that they're doing. It's scary work. Their life is on the line. Not many jobs out there where that's the case. So huge shout out to all those guys keeping us safe, man.
Yeah, very tough to follow that one, but it is, you know, with the time that we spend here every week, you know, talking about what's going on, we get to kind of escape what's going on in real life, and what's going on in California right now is serious. So thoughts and prayers to everybody out there with what's dealing. You know, we hope that you are all as safe as possible. You know, material things can be replaced over time, but lives can't. So my shout out's actually going to go to JKG Brandon, who is still giving out some giveaways. I believe he hasn't done it yet. So make sure you guys are giving him a follow over on YouTube and Twitch. So you can get in on that giveaway. He's going to be giving away some gems and an ancient shard, right? So, Ken, where can everybody come and follow you?
FinalKenpachi, guys, both YouTube and the Twitch. I'm streaming at the same time, starting every day at the Clan Boss Reset, and Sunday I'm exclusive here on the podcast Knights of the Teleria. Thank you.
Awesome. PJ, where can everybody come and find you?
MXPJE on Twitch. I also started doing a little bit more YouTube. I posted a video a couple of days ago about relics and chimera and how much of a damage difference do they do. So check that out. I stream on Twitch almost every single weekday, 2 times a day as much as possible. Come say what's up, and yeah, see you guys are there.
Awesome. So for anybody out there, Brandon is actually going to be giving away on the 22nd. Also, I probably should have mentioned this at the top of the show, but the giveaway for the Champion Pass is still live, guys. I will put the video in chat right now, but if you are looking to get yourself a He-Man, you can enter in on the video that I'll put the link in, and then we will pull it next week. The person that did win actually already has He-Man, so he just said, give it out. So, Gestal, where can everybody come and find you?
Yeah, Gestal Gaming on Twitch and on the YouTubes. Hopefully I get my voice back here in the next couple of days so I don't sound all, I don't know what the heck this sounds like, but yeah, come check me out, man.
Honey and lemon. Honey and lemon.
Well, I feel fine. Like I don't feel sick anymore. It's just like I lost my voice now. But that should help me get my voice back, I guess.
Yes.
Your voice the other day was way crazier.
I know, it was so deep.
You were like Batman. It was so funny.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck. That's it's been all over the place. It's weird.
It doesn't sound as bad now.
If it helps, I gave myself laryngitis once, and a steroid shot from your doctor right in the booty will fix that right up. So,
all right, maybe I'll try that. Hit the gym afterwards.
There's the link, guys, for anybody who wants to enter in for that giveaway. We're also going to be giving out some legendary books, energy, and some chickens and stuff too. So check that out. Jay, where can everybody come and find you, brother?
You can find me on twitch.tv and on YouTube with one name, JRStar3.
Awesome. And Dab Master, what about yourself?
Sunday, Tuesday, Fridays on the Twitches, but if everybody here could go subscribe to me on the YouTube, that would be awesome. Subscribe to PJ, and actually all of us, subscribe to all of us if you're not on YouTube's. But yeah, we are mad grinding. I have a brand new editor, and he's absolutely amazing. The content we're putting out now is just that next level. And so my next goal is just to get up to 500, then 1,000. If we get to 1,000, we'll do definitely a giveaway. So everybody will be eligible. I don't know what that giveaway is going to be yet. It might be money. I'm going to pay you to subscribe to me. So subscribe now or be square, whatever that means.
Okay. PJ, did I get you?
Yeah.
I did. Okay. All right. So with all that, guys, we want to thank you all for hanging out with us this week. Patch 10.10. Overall, Plarium, we need a few more changes fixed to it. You know, try to get the bug fixes done. Let's worry about what's currently in game before we start bringing other things. I think the player base will be a lot happier. Twitch side, let's go ahead and give a nice big old raid to let's go. Who's raiding? Who's playing right now? Anybody have any suggestions? Pogo Pink Tie it is. All right, so we're gonna throw our raid over to Pogo. Make sure you guys show him some love and support when we get over there. He's actually out there in LA too, so
Yep.
hopefully he's being nice and safe. I haven't heard anything him being anywhere near that area, but guys,
And he's in the free-to-play challenge as well, so he's my competitor.
Going
let us
down.
know. Who do you guys think is
down.
going to be better? Is it going to be Zero or is it going to be Pogo? We'll talk about that next week on the Knights of Teleria. Guys, as always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. We'll catch you guys next time.